Sun-hwa lived a quiet, uneventful life inside room 97 of Gwanghwa Mansion. A pharmacist by profession, she often came home to silence. No pets, no visitors. Just the low hum of the old radio in the corner. One evening, her phone rang. It was her mother, concerned. She'd been unreachable for days. Her mother asked about her well-being, if she was seeing someone. Sun-hwa gave no answers. After the call, she noticed the radio crackling in its own, but blamed the age of the device and brushed it off. The next morning, Sun-hwa stood behind the counter at the pharmacy, lost in thought. She didn't even notice her colleague had arrived until a warm voice pulled her back. Sun-hwa blinked, startled. Her coworker was already inside, asking about medicine for her son. As the colleague browsed the shelves, Sun-hwa suddenly asked what it felt like to be married. Her coworker smiled, amused and clearly aware of the rumors. Sun-hwa had been seeing a married man. Before the silence grew too heavy, her phone rang. She checked the screen. It was him, Ho-jun, the man she wasn't supposed to love. His voice on. The line was urgent. Something had happened. He said he would explain everything later. He was coming over that night, just as the call ended. The door to the pharmacy opened again. Her colleague walked in, carrying a bag, greeting her, asking if it had been a slow morning. Sun-hwa froze. She'd just spoken with her a moment ago. Right. Both women stared at each other in confusion. Neither could explain it. Eventually, they laughed it off, but deep. Inside, something didn't feel right. That evening, a knock echoed through her apartment. She opened the door to find Ho-jun standing there, tired, damp, and pale. She welcomed him in without question, seemed shaken, disturbed. He said very little, only that his wife knew about them. Sun-hwa felt oddly relieved, but Ho-jun didn't smile. Instead, he told her he needed to stay hidden and pleaded with her not to tell anyone he was there that night. While she slept, a low buzzing sound woke her. She turned toward the bed. Ho-jun was still beside her, or so she thought. She tried to wake him, but he didn't move. The bathroom door creaked open. The radio, once in the living room, was now lying on the floor near the bathroom, buzzing quietly, cautiously. She stepped toward the bathroom. Through the frosted glass, a human silhouette moved. Scared, but she continued walking toward the bathroom to check. She opened the door. No one was there. The next morning at the pharmacy felt off. Her coworker barely looked at her. Moments later, two plainclothes detectives entered. They asked about Ho-jun. She looked confused. They explained. He was a suspect in the murder of his wife and young daughter. The world seemed to stop. Sun-hwa raced home. She replayed his words in her head. Don't tell anyone I'm here. Inside the apartment, she heard the shower running. His clothes lay in a pile on the floor. Her hands trembled in blood. Her hands trembled as she began packing. She had to leave now. Then he noticed her from behind the bathroom door. His voice called out calmly, repeating the same request. Don't tell anyone I'm taking a shower here. Over and over again, the radio buzzed again. Louder this time. Then came the knock at the door. Ho-jun, Caleb, dry, confused, and standing outside. Sun-hwa froze. If he was outside, then who was in the bathroom? She let him in, trembling. Explained everything in a panic. Together they turned toward the bathroom. The voice inside still repeated the same line, word for word, tone for tone. Ho-jun picked up a hammer and moved toward the bathroom slowly. Sun-hwa stood behind him, paralyzed by dread. Ho-jun gripped the doorknob, ready to confront whatever or whoever was inside. Sun-hwa stood behind him, trembling, watching his every move. The sound of the running water hadn't stopped. The voice inside. The bathroom was still speaking, over and over in a low, calm tone. Don't tell anyone I'm here. Don't tell anyone I'm here. Just as Ho-jun was about to twist the knob, he suddenly froze. Without turning around, his shoulders tensed. His head tilted slightly unnaturally. Then, in the exact same voice as the one behind the door, he whispered, Sun-hwa, did I say not to tell anyone I'm here? her breath caught. He slowly turned to face her, but his eyes no longer looked like his own. Sun-hwa backed away in horror. She realized in that moment, the man beside her might not be Ho-jun.